Well, hello everybody. This is Daniel with Daniel's Bullion Coins. I have my sweet wife Ingrid here today.
Good morning.
And we've been working like crazy around the farm. Ingrid's been freeze drying figs this week, last couple of weeks, and they are awesome. Stop by the shop and get yourself a jar of them.
Oh, thank you, darling.
Yeah,
so
they're really good. We love them.
Yes,
There's
he
no
really loves them.
pesticide, no preservatives.
Yeah.
And they're done in a freeze dryer. So those that are thinking about getting a farm or getting started or canning or whatever, we recommend the freeze dryer. It's an expensive piece of equipment, but it is the way to go to put away a lot of food that can easily, we do eggs and figs and everything, and we just add water and you cannot tell that it's been preserved.
Yeah.
So think about a freeze dryer if you're in the homesteading
it
or
lasts
you're
a long
going
time.
down that road, you need a skill. We always say skill, get a skill, get a skill. Get yourself a freeze dryer and go to the farmer's market and learn how to freeze dry.
That's true, and it preserves it up to like 20, 25 years if you want it to.
Yes, and we're going to talk more about skills later.
Yeah, okay. Well, what else happened to review here? I was busy at the farm, but what were you doing here?
Here at the coin shop, we have been busy. The buyers have been in, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's amazing the price of silver and gold start to run and the buyers come in.
Yeah.
So we've had the buyers coming in, which we've been saying. We've been saying that the consolidation is over and that we're ready for the next run in gold and silver.
Yeah.
And we saw last week silver closed at a 14-year high, and gold, it broke 34.50, something like that this week. That's not an all-time high because 35 intraday. We did have 3,500 intraday. But I think really, really soon we're going to see gold highs again. But just seeing silver, and one of the interesting things about silver that happened this week was the way we came up to 40, and we got right to $40 per ounce. And then there was this pullback, and I'm really suspicious of that pullback because there's this thing that happens where algorithms kick in. There are computers that look at things that are running and they say, hey, invest in this or invest in that because it's starting to show signs of prosperity, that it's going to continue to climb. And the price pulled back like 25 or 30 cents. I think it closed at, say, 39.75. Well, I think that was the bankers, the banksters, stepping in and hammering it down so that the algorithms didn't pick up silver as an investment.
Interesting.
Because the weekly close wasn't above 40.
Right.
But that's not to say that the retail buyers and the banks, and like we said, Saudi Arabia is stepping in and buying it. And they're stepping into the miners also. We talked about that last week. And the big elephant in the room for this week was that the U.S. also said it's a strategic metal.
Yeah.
And along with platinum and many other ones, but we're interested in the white metals. And so silver, that means that they've got to have it, and they've got to have a certain amount of it in storage. And the problem with that is we have a declining supply. In other words, every year for the last 5 years, the supply coming out of the ground has been dropping and dropping and dropping. Yeah. And we've had a surplus on what we are consuming. In other words, we're consuming each year more than we take out of the ground.
Yeah.
So those two things are getting wider and wider apart. Now you've got the government saying, hey, this is a strategic metal because we use it in military, we use it in so many things. They're saying the U.S. needs that strategically.
Oh my goodness.
So, and they've given dates and things, next February we need to have a certain amount of it in storage, and we need to, over the next few years. So that's going to create a huge demand.
Yeah.
And even the average person, the retailer that comes in our shop, they are hearing and seeing this elephant in the room, this thing. And also, speaking of that, it's just fascinating to see people coming in, and I heard this, I heard that, and it's moving the market.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about how it's a musical chair.
Yes. Yes. So
tell that story.
What's coming out of the ground is declining, and we have a shortfall every year. And it's interesting, I heard a statistic where there's 1 ounce of silver for every 45 people.
Wow.
So we were talking earlier how
Yeah.
funny it is. It's like a musical chairs, except for there's 45 people and one chair. And we see it here. People come in and they test me and they check with me, and it's like they're going around the chair.
Yeah.
Has the music stopped? Is the music still playing? You know, they come
That's
talk
true.
to me, and
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna buy some someday. You know, maybe I'm thinking about it. And then other people think, oh, I think I heard the music stop, and they'll buy some real quick. You know, we see because the beat of the music will stop a little bit, and people think that's good in the chair, and so they'll come buy some. You know,
so true.
So yeah, 45 people to 1 chair to 1 ounce of silver. Yeah. So wow, when it takes off, it's going to really go. It's going to really go.
Goodness. And we had someone else kind of along the same subject, but it's gold. Come in the office, you said this week, or come in the shop and say about President Trump. Now look at all that.
Yeah. So people who are have Trump derangement syndrome and they don't understand gold and silver.
Right.
A lady comes in and she commented to me about how Trump was pointing out all the gold on the mantle in the Oval Office and how much gold he has on his desk and beside his desk and all these different things that are solid gold.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. He's telling you to get into gold.
Yeah.
He's saying, hey, it's about gold.
Yeah.
You know, he's trying not to keep a stampede from happening.
Right.
But, you know, he's saying, and he's putting it in the Oval Office and making it very clear, what do we stand for? We stand for gold.
Yeah.
And people are taking it that he's setting himself up as a king or surrounding himself with these expensive things. They're missing the point. I think he's hinting or suggesting and letting you know, if you're paying attention, that you better get into gold.
That and the subtle thing, not so subtle, saying there's a standard, and we're going back to the standards.
Yes, yeah. He's made a lot of comments, you know, and so we're going, and you know, they've come right out and flat out said that they're going to revalue gold. You know, Scott Bassett and all them.
Yeah.
So it's coming. The gold reset is coming, and there's some talk about it being in September. Rumors, and don't listen to the rumors and the hype. Just do what you can as you can.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of rumors about this September.
And you can get into gold, like I think I've said before. You can get like the little 1/20th.
Yes.
Gold maple.
Yes.
You can get the 1/10 gold eagle.
Yes, and
they
the 1 gram.
The 1 gram now. We have them here at the shop.
Yes, we're starting to carry the 1 gram maple leafs and the 1/20th gold, because people can't afford the 1 ounce, but they want to get in.
Right. I mean, they look at 1 ounce, they think 3,600. Oh my gosh.
Yes. You know.
But you can get in, get your toes in.
Yes, and they want gold. So those maple leafs are a great coin, and they're 4.9s, and they're done with a really high quality, and it's an actual coin, and you can get your toes in. It has a huge premium, so that might not be for everybody. The silver, you know, it's heavy, so it just depends on what your situation is.
And to diversify anyway, too.
Yes, good diversification, small, incremental, lightweight, and all of that. Right.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
Oh my! So we see we saw a declining of the dollar into gold. I mean, that's what Trump wants. He wants a lower dollar.
Yes. So we've been talking about, and when we know that that Trump and the entire administration, the Fed, everything that he's doing, he's telling you we're going to decline the dollar. We're going to lower the dollars, and so we're looking back in history, and we're saying, okay, what last time the dollar declined was in the 70s, early 80s. It went down 75%.
That's amazing, 70.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, that the dollar can continue to lose value. We say it's down 99% since it was created. Well, it's like a pie, and we just keep taking half of it off. You know, take half off, take another half off. We only have a quarter left. Then we take half of that. Well, now you really only have an eighth left.
Right.
So you take another half off. That sliver is getting really, really thin. Well, they took 75% off back in the 70s. Well, what happened was gold went up 300%, and certain miners went up 3,000%. Now that's hindsight, so it's very hard to play the miners and get that 3,000%.
Right.
But if you knew which miners to buy, you could be in on the 3,000% increase.
Right.
But gold went up 300%. So if we cut that pie, that slice, 75% or 50% more, whatever, you're going to see the value of gold just really skyrocket.
Right. Wow. And that's all goes along with the inflation, everything we see. Still,
Yes, inflation is running. You know, they're
you
admitting to 2.9 or 3%, something like that. They're
Yeah.
admitting to that. But there's these private companies that do the real inflation, what it's really costing you to buy a meal, go to the grocery store, and that's running over 10% to 12%. It's been fluctuating
Yeah.
right in that range. So the actual number is way above 10%. It's double-digit inflation. So
Yeah.
the CPI lie numbers are wrong.
Yeah.
And we're dealing with above 10% inflation.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to say inflation's all down since Trump is in, but I mean, for the fact that he wants a lower dollar,
Right.
it's going to mean higher
You're right. It's going to bring more
inflation.
inflation in.
Yeah,
We,
he's
we've talked about that,
printing.
how inflation is going down the sidewalk. It's going to continue to go. It's not going to stop. But what Trump's going to try to do is he's going to try to bring wages and productivity up so that the dollar's going down so we can repay our debt with a deteriorating dollar, but
Right.
we can grow the country at the same time. And that's why I say it, I've
It's
said
just
it
a
so many times,
delicate
very
balance.
delicate, very
Oh, my
difficult thing that he's
goodness.
going to try to do. And it's going to be interesting to
Shoo-wee.
see how it goes.
Okay, my next question is why do the mints sell to exclusive dealers?
Okay, that's a really good question, and I
Creating
can remember
premiums.
wondering that myself. You know, why
Yeah.
can't they just open it up
Right.
and let everybody in? The problem is they don't have the manpower. You think about how many coin dealers just like me,
Yeah.
and how many people I deal with, and I get busy. I mean,
Yeah, you do.
excuse me, there'd be 4 or 5 people lined up here,
Yeah.
and customers, and the phone's ringing, and I'm thinking, you multiply that by all of the dealers all over the country,
Right.
and all of the shipping and I spend a lot of time with some of my customers.
Right. We don't even
talking
ship
with them.
out.
Right,
There's
we
no
don't do any
way.
shipping. We're just
No way.
strictly big bricks and
Mom and
mortar
pop.
here. Mom
That's
and
all.
pop. Right, mom and pop.
no one
business.
else.
No one here. No. And so you have to come in, and so we spend a lot of time talking with people.
Yeah.
There's no way that they can produce it. Stamp them, mint them, package them, get in large
Right.
quantities, and yet deal with the individual time that it takes to deal with the customers. So they're just getting it out the door. They're producing
Right.
it. It's sort of like the farmer. He might grow it and raise it up, but he gives it to somebody else to process
Package it,
and
all
package
that.
it,
Yeah.
and then they give it to another person who then the
Right.
grocery store, who then sells it to the person who comes along and picks it up and looks at it and picks up
Right.
another one and picks up a different one, and maybe this, maybe that, and they're on the fence and they're trying to decide, and you're standing there, okay, what do you want? So you have to have that, which then raises the cost, and of course they always advertise, cut out the middleman and buy from me, but it doesn't work that
There's
way.
no such thing, really.
No, and people come in all the time. Occasionally, people come in and ask me, where can I go and I can cut out the middleman? And I tell them, I say, I'll tell you how to cut out the middleman. If you buy the 90%, you can go straight out to the
Yeah.
farmer and trade with him and get the food. And you'll have that skill and that connection and that
Right.
capability to survive in a downward spiral.
Right.
If you don't know anybody, you don't know where to go, who to talk to, or how to pay for something,
Yeah.
you're not going to have that connection.
That's true.
So, and that cuts out the middleman, but you're going to do the labor yourself. You're going to have to get invested. And I remember we were talking about what we were going to do this weekend. I said, I got to work on the truck. I got to work on the truck. Well, I could pay somebody, but I don't want that car payment. So we make
No.
that extra effort and extra time to save that money. Well, you need to make that
Right.
extra effort and extra time to get out there and find that farmer and trade with them. Well, I tell you what, why don't you come get some figs? Trade some silver for some figs this weekend,
dear.
and see how you learn, make some contacts.
Oh, my goodness. Well, my next
help
question is how much silver is enough?
Never enough. No. Well, what's funny is you can think of it this way. It's always been a loaf of bread is equal to 1 dime of silver, and a whole cooked chicken has always been worth 1 silver quarter.
Right.
So how many, if you wanted to feed your friends and your family, you just surrounded yourself with a small group of people, and these are the people who don't listen and don't understand right now. You cannot convince them. But
No.
they will be convinced eventually, and you're going to want to help them.
Yeah.
And think about how much food you would need and how long
Ooh.
And suddenly you start to realize you can't store that much silver, or you can't store that much food. What you're going to need is a skill, back to the skill, back to being able to learn how to trade with a farmer, maybe learn how to freeze dry something, maybe learn how to can. Just whatever skills you can acquire, something you enjoy, have fun with it. But at the same time, you're going to find out that it's not only silver. It's funny, we have a shop, and here I am telling you, go buy a canner or go buy a freeze dryer, you know, and get the skills, because it's not only gold and silver.
No.
You know, and it may be a little bit of lead and copper too. You know, we have people actually coming in here.
Yeah, tell them that. That's just amazing.
We actually have people coming in here and saying, I'm spending my money on lead and copper so I can take what I want.
That's just scary.
Yeah. They're not worried about gold and silver. They're going to take what they want. So, you know, we tell people, you know, don't buy just gold and silver. You better have a little protection too. A little safety.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, yeah. And I've told the story about how we had the earthquake here and how quickly society deteriorated and things got a little scary. We've told that story before.
We've told that story
We'll
before.
tell it another time.
Oh my goodness. Well, metals did poorly in the last recession. What do you think?
Yes, yes. So if you look back, people talk about, hey, in the last recession, I think I saw this question on Yankee Stacker, I think. Why wouldn't metals do poorly in the next in the next coming recession? And the reason is because it was a industrial metal during other recessions. This time, the dollar is so devalued and so worthless that we're going to switch from an industrial metal to a monetary metal. And we've talked before about how they pulled the copper wiring and downspouts for the rain gutters and the air conditioning units. They pulled those. They were stealing all that during the last recession. I think it was like 2000. Catalytic converters, right?
Yeah.
Right, for the material that's in there. So they crawl under the people's car. Palladium inside the catalytic converters. So it turns to a monetary metal really fast. And even during the Great Depression, farmers, you know, they were scrapping tractors, scrapping all this stuff that they could find, the metal, because they were trying to come up with money. So I believe in the next recession, we're going to go from an industrial metal, which is why the metal did poorly in other recessions, to a monetary metal, from industrial to monetary, and then it's going to be a totally different situation. And we're seeing it already with the supply diminishing, the demand increasing, the shortfall, the deficit that we have each year in silver. And now it's becoming a strategic metal. Saudi Arabia was last week. The U.S. is this week, making it a strategic metal. Requiring that we hold a certain amount. It's huge. It's huge. And I think 41, 42, and once the algorithms kick in and the banksters are caught with their shorts, I think the $50 is going to be very quickly.
And that's why it shot up yesterday. It's because of that announcement.
Yeah, partly that, partly people coming in and buying, partly the retailers don't really move it, but the banksters are moving.
That's why we saw the jump in the spot.
Yes.
That's really something.
And the buyers coming in.
Yeah, we had buyers.
Boy, that's a good video. Y'all take care.
I think we'll watch it.
We'll watch it. We'll enjoy it. We'll get something out of it.
Yeah.
Thank you, y'all. Be blessed. Take care.
And happy Labor Day.
Oh, happy Labor Day.
Yes, you got your patriotic shirt on. I got mine on.
Oh, Ingrid's got a great one. I wish y'all could see it.
Sorry.
It's great. Come in and see her.
Yeah, come in and see me.
Bye-bye.
Blessings. Bye-bye.